fact is you recommend the gentleman.
Right.
So, and I know you're a man wouldn't recommend somebody who will follow up.
Right.
But anyhow, before I introduce our guest, and probably he will share it about himself, I had cause to speak to a parent who brought her son down to the youth club, and she brought him down to the club for a cocktail.
Oh.
So that she started off bad.
Right.
I fed up with him. I can't take him no more. Officer, I just bring him for him to get a good cocktail. Wrong. They start off wrong. And I told her, and I want to tell those who are listening, the police officers are intelligent people. They are smart. They have counseling services. They can speak to young people. You know, they want to listen to them. It is not about bringing the child to the youth club and giving them a cocktail. I understand your frustration. I understand that you're fed up. I understand that your hands are up in your head saying, Lord of mercy, I don't know what to do again. But I want you to revisit and to review the role of a police officer. Because the same parent, when they give the child the cocktail, go in and make a report and then saying, and then the officer is before the court.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Same, I didn't know that officer gave him that. I already told the officer to hit him, but that lash he gave him,
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, you can get set up.
Thank you. So officers have to dot the I and cross the T. In terms of understanding, we want to talk to your children, speak to them. Yes, we will talk to them firm. We will give them ultimatum. You know, we will really act for them. But more than that, we want to find out why children behaving the way they behaving. There's a thin line between corporal punishment and abuse. And I'm going to spend a full hour, probably Friday or next week, looking into that. You cannot be beating a child. The child has cut wounds, open sore, bleeding, and then you're saying that is corporal punishment. That is madness. Okay, there's a way you go about just passing on correction. So, parents, I know in your frustration, I know in your attempt to bring the child back to order, you have to be very careful, and you have to understand that the law speaks to the fact of what we can do and what we cannot do. There is international rights. There is a child's authority, the judge's rule, the children's authority, the act that speaks to children, and police officers have to work within that framework. Is not I can buy Sharbodie and Sharbodie will give them a good cocktail. Days for them, they're done.
Okay.
Right? I just want to put that. So we have, before we go, our guest yesterday. I want to congratulate our guests who came in yesterday and Brother Mohammed from the Islam, very educated African brother. You know, very educated, and I want to personally commend Brother Mohammed for all that he did and he spoke of, and I think he's a brother who...
He's a very good speaker, isn't he?
Yes, and I think he's focusing on the African youth, and a lot of people put a mouth on the African, them trying them, but I would prefer somebody who is working with them, who could tell me what are some of their challenges and some of the projects. I think that is much more commendable, because that's my child too. That's the nation's children. And sometimes we put 2 gates in an electrical and 2 dogs and feel that we're safe. And the same child that you abandon passing straight, coming to put a knife next to your throat. The community raise children. We are our brother's keeper. We look out for each other. My child is your child is mine. And that is how children are raised. When you're fast and you're out of place, the mother walk on you. You was disrespectful to Mr. Clyde. You know Officer Bayer live in the community and you're a respectable gentleman. And you are sent back to apologize to Officer Bayer. And when you reach home, you're getting something special. Not so, Mr. Bayer. You know what I'm thinking about?
It is gone by, yes.
I want to introduce a gentleman who is no stranger to lecturing and talking to young people. He does an excellent job in terms of marketing and promoting this very unit that do good work on the highway and by extension in schools, and so he is a brother that I've seen came down to the police youth club and was very, very instrumental. In fact, some of the youth club members went up at the traffic branch The children had an absolutely beautiful evening. They were on the motorbike. They spoke to traffic branch. They asked about the helmet. They want to go on a ride. The breathalyzer device was there for them to. I just want to applaud all of for that. That is beautiful. When you start early with young people, educating and keeping them informed in terms of the role of traffic, then sometimes they pull the parents up. They say, "Mommy, I went to traffic branch," and they say, "You must put on your seatbelt." That's all, Alex. Children, they say, and the
Yes.
officer said, if you go over 18, you'll get a ticket. Children can assist in lawfully ensuring that the
Correct.
parents conform.
I have been put in my place already with my 6-year-old. Yeah.
No, we need to start with the young people. Right? So, Officer Bayer, welcome to 91.1.
Thank you very much for having
Taking
me.
in front. It is the number one youth program, just by the way.
Okay,
Right?
that's nice.
But we have a platform here for all my colleagues and them, and you are absolutely allowed to explain, educate, and to keep the listenership in. Tell us a little bit about that's for the benefit of the listenership. Tell us a little about yourself.
Okay, so I am Constable Bayer. I'm from the Traffic and Highway Patrol branch
Okay.
in Barataria. And that branch, the Traffic and Highway Patrol branch, has 3 units. There's the DBA unit, the Freeport unit,
Okay.
and the Barataria unit. The branch is spearheaded by Senior Superintendent Daly.
Oh, good man.
Right, and that's our commander at the branch. So at the Traffic and Highway Patrol branch, our primary function at the branch is patrolling the highways, maintaining presence, vigilance, enforcement on the highways. So the highways, as most people would know now, the extent to which we go is the Elmina Clark Allen Highway
Okay.
to the east and the Archibald de Leon Highway in south, which is soon to have a presence by a unit that will be there located soon down to Guapo. That's the extent to which the highway is covered by the highway.
Okay. And there are a lot of new highways coming up
Yes,
now.
and there are new highways coming
Lord,
up.
yes.
So the primary function of the branch, in addition to focusing on the highway, at the traffic branch, we have the cycle unit,
Yes.
we have the signs and barriers unit, we have the road surveillance unit, which is headed by Sergeant Batson, who actually is supposed to have been here today with you all. And we also have the motorcycle unit at that branch that provides, as you said, we came with the bike at the youth club. We have VIP escorts that's done
Yes.
by the cyclists,
That's right.
right? We have the presidential spouse, the prime minister, CJ. So at the branch, it's a unique and a dynamic branch because you have a lot of training going on there and continuous training.
Yes.
So we have the cyclists. So I happen to be a motorcyclist. I was trained at the branch. No, you would know Corporal Balfour,
Yes.
who would have brought me to the youth club.
That's right.
Right? Miss Pay would have introduced me to your youth club, and Sergeant Marcel would have come.
Yes.
I have a picture still on my phone in the cloud of your son giving a vote of thanks when we came there to the Vimcot with your youth program. So one of the things that Traffic Branch does, in addition to all of these skill sets and areas, the Traffic Branch is responsible for a lot of training. So the focus on Traffic Branch, beside the escorts, beside when you see, for example, recently when we had the visit of the Indian Prime Minister.
Yes, that was big.
So there's footage where they say, "Wow, look at that long and wow, whoop whoop cyclist passing," and that type of training, that type of escort, as strange as it may seem, I will tell you that I'm a cyclist and I get pause when I see other cyclists doing that.
Can you imagine?
Right? So at the branch, we have a lot of training. So some of the training that takes place at the branch, DUI training.
Okay.
So we have officers that are trained in DUI there. Tint training takes place there. Presently at the branch now as we speak, there's a speed gun course going on today at the branch, a 3-day course. And it's to train officers for the use of the TrueCam 2.
Yes.
Right? That's a new gun that was recently launched on the
Yes. Yes.
For sure.
Laser. Yes.
right, right, the laser gun that everybody's talking about. So one of the things that I have observed over time working at the branch, the end result of all policing is about public safety.
That's right.
So somebody might say, well, traffic branch, and what do they do? There are a lot of persons that don't know that if you're on a highway, you and your vehicle shut down, you can call 674-1822. Good night, traffic branch. Yes, I'm shut down. My vehicle is shut down on the highway, and wherever you are, they will dispatch a unit to wait and remain with you.
674-1822.
So that's one of the services that the branch provide that the public not aware of.
I have benefited from that service.
Right. So anybody could call the branch once you shut down a highway, and the branch does that.
Yes.
So there are people who would have benefited from it and they didn't pass it on to the other persons. They don't know. They don't know. They might think they limit what they think traffic branch does. So again, when we speak in relation to the training, the branch itself, to have that command and control of the highway, we have to do it through a number of ways. One of the ways is through education, where we find that we have outreach programs. So the traffic branch works closely with a lot of police youth clubs, a lot of churches, a lot of schools, right? We work with
youth
organizations. We work with Arrive Alive. So sometimes you will see Arrive Alive and traffic branch collaborate, where they go to the schools and they actually have a program where they teach children how to cross the road.
Wonderful.
Right?
Yeah.
Recently, you had a situation where a woman was knocked down on a pedestrian crosswalk in front of licensed officers in Port of Spain.
Wow.
And these things may come about through inadvertence, distracted driving,
Yes.
and there are persons who don't understand the rules in relation to a crosswalk.
Yes.
Right? So there are about 4 regulations in the Motor Vehicle Act that speaks to a crosswalk. And sometimes people, well, Trinidadians, they sometimes use the crosswalk without understanding how to traverse that safely and quickly.
Right.
Because Trinidadians, as you know, we have this thing, well, bounce me down now.
Thank you.
And one of the things is not about whether you're right or wrong, it's about public safety, because you wouldn't want to get knocked down, right? So the branch collaborates with organizations to actually promote road safety,
Right.
right? And one of the other things we do is enforcement. So it's road safety, outreach programs, training, enforcement, and these are the ways that the branch actually partners with the public to help. Because from time to time, you may see the traffic branch at a school, you may see them on the highways doing speed exercises. So somebody say, well, why don't you go and look for a real criminal? So I used to work in the Western Division, right? So you'd hear people say, and why don't you go in so and so area and deal with them rich people?
Stupid.
And then the poor man say, why don't you go in the... So they're sending the police where they want, not understanding that at the end of the day, all police work comes down to public safety. You work fraud squad, you don't want nobody to be defrauded by a check.
That's right.
You work child protection unit, you don't want to know that a child disappeared.
Yes.
So recently, one of my colleagues, she actually sings in the police choir. She went into a house, rescued a woman,
Yes, I know about that.
and took the woman into the safety of her house.
Yes.
And here you had this person banging down the door,
Yes.
still to try to do her harm. So when all of that is said and done, and there's kudos to her, what about her personal safety after?
Yes.
Because this man now has to go before the court. Every aspect of policing should lead and is about public safety, whether it's children, child protection unit, whether it's fraud squad, whether it's GB, whether it's IATF. That is the root cause of what we do in the police service.
I'm in listening to you and having an appreciation, and you use the term several times in your presentation, safety, which is paramount, which is part of our mantra to protect and serve, right? And safety seems to be not just the presence of the police, but a culture, a thinking, an attitude that will allow the law-abiding citizens to work in concert and complement the police. So you can say there are several people who use the nation's road practice safety.
Yes, they are.
Right. But there are errand drivers who do not care about law. They have no care for the 80 miles. They have no care for slow down. They are lawless in their thinking. They are lawless in their behavior. They are lawless at home. So it is understood that there will be lawless behind a vehicle.
Yes.
Right. Tell me something, and I think that is where the police officer draws the line.
Yes.
There are members of the public, through your conversation, we'll give them a blind. They say, oh, God, officer, I want to apologize. I wasn't thinking. You know, and
Yes.
you would
It happens. It should happen.
Yes.
Now, at the branch, when we have training programs, we try to instill in the officers, try to think first as a human.
Thank you.
Right? So, when you think in that regard as a human, there will be people who make, I call it slip-ups. You're going down the road, you're driving, your phone ring, you pick it up. Those things happen. But there are persons who would be driving on the cell phone and they will tell the police
Madness.
some of the most funniest things.
Yes.
Right?
Major
So,
distraction.
just this morning, I
Yes.
could share this video with you. A person was driving and they're texting on their phone. And the phone is in a bracket.
Yes.
The police would have stopped them. Ma'am, why would you be texting? No, I'm not texting. I'm actually changing the song. I'm not feeling for soca this morning. But we had to explain to her, ma'am, you're driving while distracted on the
That's
highway.
right. That's a major
And there's
problem.
an issue,
Yes.
right? So one of the things, distracted driving, because sometimes you see an accident, people slowing down to look at the accident. When we look at the factors that go into the accident,
Yes, that's right.
some of the factors that cause accidents and fatal accidents, and even if you don't have a fatal accident, you losing your leg,
Yes, limb. That's
you're
right.
losing a limb, you're
Yes.
losing loss of earnings,
Sometimes you can't find a wheelchair.
confined
after
to a
an accident.
wheelchair, and
Yes.
this is, and it could happen so quickly that the cell phone fall, you reach down, and by the time you look up,
Boom.
boom,
That's right.
right?
Yes.
So, as I tell you, I'm a cyclist. And going to the branch there, Miss Marcel, Sergeant Marcel, who's the trainer, would have tell you there's a look and a gaze.
Yes.
And as a cyclist, you can't be just gazing off because the rate of speed at which you're going, you just fall.
Especially motorbike.
Right.
There's no. There's no
It doesn't
safety
have
belt.
fall. Yeah, there's
Yet
no
we
safety
still
belt.
ride.
Yeah.
Right? So riding. So the cycle section of traffic branch is one of the sections that, as I told you, I'm a cyclist, right?
Yes.
So they have a number of names for me. One of the names they have for me is slow rider. One of the names they have for me is checkered helmet. But just imagine that you're a cyclist and you're on a duty, and it was a funeral duty, and you actually getting pause reason to see Sergeant Bruce and Gordon weaving their bike.
Oh,
And here you say, me? That is not for me. I'm a cyclist, but
thank you.
there's a level of skill with it
That's
and a
right.
level of risk. So when we as cyclists riding, we riding with risk, we accept those things.
Yes.
So, but the public who riding and are driving hard, they wouldn't understand, hey, you on four wheels and when you crash, the damage. So sometimes people say, why don't you all go on? But it's all about public safety. Why don't you all go and deal with this one and deal with that one? But it's public safety.
And let me say this: it was this week and last week. We had two terrible
Yes.
fatals with motorbike.
Cyclists, yes.
It was absolutely. I know one from the Diego Martin. I know the young man well.
Yes.
I'm not familiar, but just seeing the body on the ground and the
Right.
impact.
That early
Especially the one
morning.
in South, it was as you got from Wassa.
Yeah.
Full impact on the vehicle.
So again, when they would have made amendments to the Motor Vehicle Act, a lot of amendments,
Yes.
but driving with due care and attention, they never amended that. And it's something that's required of every driver. on the road.
Yes.
To drive with due care and attention, because you have to consider the road users.
Yeah.
So sometimes drivers could tell you, so what you all doing about these crazy people? Why you all not taking them off the road? Because at the traffic branch, we have enforcement as one of the pillars that is central to what the branch
Yeah,
do.
it's paramount. That's right.
So you will see the police on a speed exercise, and you realize people reducing the speed. So the guns that we have at the branch, when you go on the course, so for example tonight they have night speed training because you could actually do speed at night. A very good speed technician without the use of the tripod will capture a vehicle 800 meters away.
Wow.
So sometimes the people slow down, not realizing they
Yes,
have
already
been
picked up
captured already.
Yes, yes.
So at the branch, we strive, the branch there, the training regimen, they strive for excellence in these things. So you find that when it comes to speeding, people speeding on the road and they not understanding, they're not making the connection between speeding and what it leads to.
That's right.
So you're talking about dismemberment, it leads to loss of earnings. If you're the breadwinner in the family,
Yes.
and you are speeding and you crash, what happens to your family?
What about the innocent paying for the guilty?
And that's what happens. Sometimes you accident take place, and you know the man who caused the accident, he go on whistling down the road.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then
Very unfortunate.
and people are left to pick up the pieces.
Yes.
Right? So these are the things that the primary function is getting people to understand that, hey, the police is not there to bully you, but understand the police is there for public safety, and there are persons who pay no attention to the regard for other road users or even themselves. So just last week, the police would have conducted a speed exercise on the Uriah Bottle Highway, vicinity of Mount Hope. And a gentleman was stopped in the exercise, and the police asked him to present his driver's permit. And he said, no, the court took it away 2 weeks ago.
Whoa.
What?
So he's driving
He's
on
driving-
Missions Road.
Why is disqualified?
Yes.
So when the police questioned him, what did the court take away? Well, they take away my learner's permit. So you don't have a permit.
That's right.
So he was
That's
arrested, taken to the branch. He would have appeared before the court and was
Madness.
sentenced to 2 months imprisonment with hard labor.
Wow.
Because you're talking about risk taking that is
Yes.
not necessary.
Right, let's take a little break right now. We shall return.
This is absolutely
Yeah, this is
excellent.
good
Very
information.
informative.
Yes, it is. Stay
Very
tuned.
competent Mr. Bayer is in the house.
That's right.
All right, thanks for that, bro.
Owning a food chain. Take it to the next level. Don't miss your chance to play Lotto Plus today. Players must be 18 years and older. Please play responsibly.
Welcome to this afternoon's Playway Pick 2 and Pick 4 draw, supervised by independent auditors UPN.
Officer Baya. Very informative. I'm very honored in the way that you have relay and allow members of the public to have a greater appreciation for traffic branch and its role and function. And what we are saying to members of the public, the law-abiding citizens, the traffic branch is there to make sure that you're protected, that you're safe on the road. So when you hear laws come out and amendments come out and there are these new set of state-of-the-art technology, it's not for those who are law-abiding, it's for those who are lawless. And therefore those who are lawless have something to worry about. You follow? And I want to ensure that part, that sense of appreciation for traffic branch presence provides. You see cars start to slow down immediately. They say, but why people driving so slow? They say, oh Lord, that police on it. You know, but we don't want that. We want, even though police are not there, for police people and members of the public to still listen. Whether police there or not, I'm self-disciplined and some safety is paramount, and that is the culture we want to promote.
Police yourself.
Yes, police. I love that. Policing yourself. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about this new state-of-the-art gun. And I know how you use gun, but I'm talking about a Glock. We're not talking about a Glock. We're not talking about.
Or you can say a device.
The speed cap. Yeah, the speed
right.
gun.
Tell us a little about it.
So recently, the police service would have launched the TrueCam 2.
Yes.
So there are actually 3 speed guns that the police service actually use.
Okay.
The first one was the Dragon Cam, and then they had the True Cam LTI 2020,
Wow.
and now they have the True Cam 2. The uses and the benefits of this latest gun is that it's wireless.
Okay.
The previous guns were wireless, so you had issues in terms of bringing in the cable if your cable broke. These guns are now wireless,
Wow.
and it affords for a seamless flow of the information from the gun to the tablet. So a lot of persons, they're speeding on the highway. So under the Motor Vehicle Road Traffic Act, Section 62, Act 12 of 2014 is the act that provides for the use of speed guns, measuring devices, for want of a better phrase,
Right.
and for the certification of persons to actually use these devices. And these devices are based on a ministerial order. So persons that are trained, and before the police uses anything, they have a legal department that actually ensures that the
Wonderful.
level of
Wonderful.
training.
Yes.
So for example, somebody may ask, you all calibrate that gun? Yes. Within the act, it requires
legal.
that it must be calibrated every time you go to use it.
That's right.
So there are certain places in Trinidad and Tobago, in certain police stations, where the weights and measures divisions would have come and created this point for you to align the gun to calibrate it before you use it.
Wonderful.
So it must be calibrated. The information is stored in the gun, and when you actually get the printout of your violation, you could actually see the date and time for the calibration. So people, so all calibrate that? Yes, we must.
That is understood.
It's understood. That's
Yeah,
a
and
requirement.
police
It's the
stand for
same
when
thing.
legal.
It's the same thing with the breathalyzer equipment. It's the same thing with the tint equipment.
Thank you.
So when you look at the speeding and the culture of speeding in Trinidad, and that's something that we need to change. As we say, we need to police yourself.
That's right.
Because while there would have been amendments, for example, Act 9 of 2017, there's an amendment to the Motor Vehicle Act where some people have a permit. I will pull out now my driver's permit, but you may have a license.
Okay.
So under that amendment to the act, the possession of the permit, when your permit expire, everybody goes to a license.
That's right.
That belongs to the licensing authority. Your registration number does not belong to you, it belongs to them. So hence they would have created, you're careless with your license, it can be taken away from you.
Yes, yes.
And that's
Have the
because
authority.
they have the authority. Because the idea behind it is, for example, a man say, the police stop him, good night, sir. But sir, you're drinking and driving. Look at your condition. Why is that a big man? I could do what I want. No. You have a family depending on you.
Yes.
So for every driver on the road, you have to understand that you have a wife, you have one son that I know of, you have a sister,
Yes.
you have nieces, you have nephews.
Thank you.
So the use of your vehicle, which is connected to your permit,
Yes.
is something that you should ensure.
That's right.
Because, well, it's my life, I could do what I want. We may think that way, but it's not
yes,
that
yes,
way.
yes.
Because today's Friday, I want to drink and carry on tomorrow, but your mother wants you to carry her to her clinic on Monday. Your daughter have to go to school. Your son have to go to school. You may have to drop them at different schools, different locations.
Yes.
And if you lose your permit, what becomes of your family?
Everybody's affected. There's a domino
Everybody's
effect.
affected because you lose your permit and you're a truck driver. You lose your permit, you're a maxi driver.
Yes.
You lose your permit, you're a taxi driver. Your family life is now affected. So now you're bringing to bear on your own shoulders, through your own action or inaction,
That's right.
strain on your family life.
So you didn't take into account.
You didn't take into account.
Yes.
A drinking and driving Friday night? Okay, so you don't know next week Friday your wife want to go movie town? And when you lose your permit, the court disqualify you, in steps who? The Rasta man.
That's right. Mark's a great question. And it's happened a lot in the West. Your son has a learner's permit.
Right.
It is after 9, 10 o'clock in the night. The mother feels that she is competent, allow the son to drive, police pull the vehicle over. The son presents the learner's permit. And the son, well, the mother, of course, will say, well, I'm here. I am competent. I allow him to drive the vehicle. Is that lawful?
So at the back of every learner's permit, there are conditions to use.
Yes.
So a person who has a learner's permit, you can be charged for breach of the conditions.
Right.
For example, you must have a L on the vehicle. You cannot come on the highways at certain times.
That's right.
So a lot of persons think, well, I have a learner's permit, and it would have happened that a person was charged at the traffic branch at 11 in the night. The person had a learner's permit, and they were drinking, and the woman took up the keys. Are you gonna drive? And they did not stop till they reached, and the driver kept saying, the person who had the full driver's permit saying, oh, could be coming closer to Port of Spain, it might have police here, stop.
Yes,
and
reckless.
they stopped, they be panicked at the higher light. Police stopped, interviewed them, and they both were charged before the court.
Thank you.
And both were convicted. The driver for aiding and abetting in the commission of offense.
Okay.
Because, as persons know, there's the demerit point system that was removed, but demerit points still exists for certain traffic offenses.
Yes. Yes. I've
So,
heard that.
for example, I brought with me this book on breathalyzer because I don't want nobody stumble at questions that are not prepared to answer. So, for example, breathalyzer. The Breathalyzer Act is a special majority act. So, what's the essence of that? The police suspect that you were drinking whilst driving, attempting to drive, or even in charge of a motor vehicle on a roadway, and they require a sample of breath. You must give it to them
Thank you.
because it's
Must
special
comply.
special majority legislation. And special majority legislation,
Those are lawful instructions.
besides being a lawful instruction, any law that sets aside your constitutional rights under Section 4 and 5, it was passed by a 3/5 majority.
Thank you.
You're confined now by the law to give the police a sample of breath.
Yes.
And refusing, you wouldn't believe the kind of things people tell the police. We had a gentleman, he came to the branch, he was arrested on the highway. No, you're not supplying the sample of breath. And at the branch, Sergeant Batson would have turned on his camera, and some of the things that he said to the police. No, I see Dan Dada, I'll have to escort me home. This man would have been charged for failing to provide a sample of breath.
Yes.
Because most persons don't understand under the Breathalyzer Act, when the police require a sample of breath, you're compelled to give it.
Let me ask a question. Quick question. It's not beyond breathalyzer. There is one that immediately that activates while you're on the highway. The police officer pulls you out, and then there's a second one. Tell me about
The instrument.
yes.
So I took up one. I took up a field sobriety tester to bring, and I left it here in a hurry
makes
because
sense.
I was making these notes.
I follow.
So, and in Trinidad and Tobago, we use what is called a field sobriety tester,
Right.
FST, which is a handheld device, and we use the RBT4, which is a larger device. So all persons who are trained as breathalyzer technicians, they are trained and certified by the Minister of National Security.
Wow, okay.
The breathalyzer instruments for Trinidad and Tobago is approved.
So they're not Johnny come lately using that.
No.
Certified and
It
trained.
must be certified, right? The certificate lasts for 5 years, and you must be recertified because when the police require a sample of breath, right? So this is what the field sobriety tester looks like, right? And when they require that sample of breath from you and they ask you to blow into the instrument, you must blow. The alcohol sensor FST.
Yes.
You must blow. If you refuse or fail to supply, and that's when they say refuse, outright refuse. I'm not blowing in that.
Big man, I'm not blowing in that.
Right.
You're mad for me to blow in that.
There's a charge.
Right. Failing.
Failing to supply a sample of breath for testing. You are arrested without a warrant, and you are taken to the police station, the nearest police station, or where you're taken to where the larger instrument is, the RBT4, and you are you're provided an opportunity to provide on the field sobriety tester at that location. You refuse again, there's another charge. So most persons would have known this name I'm going to call. There's something called the Colin Partap judgment, right? So that judgment says every refusal to supply a sample of Brett is a charge under the Brettalyzer Act.
Yes, you want to name it after the man, but you...
No, because it stemmed from that incident
Okay.
where he refused to supply a sample of Brett.
Yes.
And
And that was case law.
and that's case law. So one of the easiest ways to be arrested, the police required to blow a sample of Brett, and you started to tell the police about his mother and his cousin, and one put his well, it's not really friendly what they tell you.
Blow on something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So right, you make a note. So this is what you are telling me at 8:30. They're arrested, they're taken to the station. You go to somebody senior. With our corporal, this is John X. He was required to buy a sample of Brett. Corporal asked him, sir, are you going to supply? No, sir. Who's you? Go so. But
Yeah.
Somebody
so
blows...
every refusal is a charge.
Yeah. I know they have variants for that. Though. I've seen it. You know, anybody who telling you otherwise, something wrong with them. Somebody blows into it. Somebody said about that malfunctioning.
Okay, so
Something wrong with that. This is a device that can be used in the court.
So the results from these devices, as I told you, must be calibrated
Yes.
before you do anything. That's part of the preparation for breathalyzer
Is a
exercise.
requirement.
Is a requirement that the technician must calibrate the instrument before you go out.
Right.
So what happens in Trinidad, there are a lot of persons who tell you, well, I bought a breathalyzer, from the drugstore. I bought one from Kappa. Right, you may have brought one from the drugstore, but here what happening? That's not what the police using.
Legally, that's right.
The police is using the alcohol sensor FSC. These are the approved breathalyzer instruments approved by the ministry,
Right.
approved by the minister. So every person, as I tell you, must. So you would see here, this is a
Certified authorization,
right. This is
yes.
So I was certified by the Minister of National Security, and this was you notice here, this is effective for 5 years. So this expired, so I had to get renewed.
Right.
I had to be recertified. So this is my third. This is second. So I have a third breathalyzer certificate.
This is absolutely excellent, man.
So when you actually tell persons, you identify yourself to them, you let them know I'm a breath alcohol technician, you let them know about the legal requirements to supply the sample of breath and the failure for failing to supply or refusing. Hence, part of that process is the training, is where you actually train to be able to speak these things. And sometimes persons, they're so intoxicated, they're so inebriated that you listen to them and
You know what's going on.
you know what's going on. Sometimes a man would have said, officer, he would have been charged. So, for example, being a breath technician, both of you, the police could tell when you drink alcohol. Because alcohol goes to your mouth, goes down to your system,
Yes.
eyes are affected, pigmentation is affected,
Slur.
slur,
Speech.
Yeah.
some people perspire. So above their lips, they're sweating according to the mighty sparrow. Lips perspire and
The physical.
the physical changes.
Yeah.
Right.
So then in our law in Trinidad, there's no compunction for you to actually walk the line as how they do it in America.
Right.
So these observations that the police make is actually
it's
interacting with the person.
Okay.
And then once you detect them and you suspect them, you must inform them. I suspect your breath alcohol is above the prescribed limit. So Trinidad has a prescribed limit. So 35 micrograms per 100 milliliters of breath.
How does that translate? Sorry, to
Right.
like
How much
content?
alcohol?
Like what,
Right.
one beer,
So-
2 beers. You know,
right.
just
So-
have an idea.
Right. So a lot of persons, in terms of understanding alcohol, they think, well, I need to have 2 beers and I'll be okay. So basically how alcohol works within the body, there are a number of factors that will affect your alcohol intake and your metabolism.
Right. Right.
So a person who has a family history of hypertension, diabetes, they'll be affected by alcohol one way. A person who would not have eaten anything would be
Right.
affected by
Yeah.
alcohol
The different
another way.
factors. Yeah.
Then it comes down to, for example, I was only drinking beers. You would go to a function and you say, but this man only reached here half an hour, look, he's throwing up on the floor.
Right.
Because he might not have been drinking what you're drinking.
Thank you.
He might be
Right.
drinking strong liquor.
Right,
So hence, scrunter. Eat something before you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the alcohol needs to
Yes,
absorb
yes,
something.
correct,
Right.
correct.
Right? So when the police interact with persons, alcohol comes out through your pores. So I have a colleague, he has never drank alcohol in his life. In the Western Division, I could call his name Officer Jalino.
Right.
So we won the DUI task force. So because he never drank alcohol, his nose could pick up the smell of alcohol quickly.
Oh, okay,
Hey,
okay.
talk to this man now.
Right, right.
And he was like, "Oof." So he catch the smell.
Yeah.
So again, his body, even his nose, could respond to alcohol different to somebody who
Right.
actually
I understand.
drinks. So these are the factors. So one of the things we tell people, you know you're going to drink alcohol. They tell you don't drink and drive. Ride share,
Right, exactly.
right? So
It's
the
available
police,
24/7.
The traffic branch, during the carnival season, there's a heightened amount of DUI
Yes.
exercises, DUI enforcement, and it's working because there was at least 2 years ago, went to Marshall Monday, and only one person was arrested because everybody
Mr.
is
Watson said that.
took-
That's very good. Excellent.
they took
Yeah,
ride
applaudable.
share,
They took in
Applaudable.
front. That's
took
what
in
happened.
front,
Yeah,
right?
took in front.
And but again, remember, just say I go to Marshall Monday and I live Rio Claro. I have to pass back. I'm going over the highway, passing Freeport, San Fernando Division, Princestown Division.
Right.
You're going through all of those areas. That distance you're taking, that risk, that level, because your family waiting on you. You could fall asleep.
Exactly, yeah.
So you fall asleep on the road, so tiredness. So in years gone by, you would have told somebody, hey, park up, and no, you can't do that anymore. Because the general safety out there, you can't tell nobody, advise nobody to park up.
Madness.
Right?
Yeah.
You had
Take a
somebody,
rest it off.
you had a man walking to the station, he said, hey, I had too much to drink, you know, I just want to park up in front of the station. No.
Okay.
You,
Serious.
you drove to the police station
Right,
in that
right.
state,
Influence.
and
Yeah.
the law caters for any person who is driving, attempting to drive, or in charge of a vehicle on the road.
Yeah.
It's an offense.
Right. So that's the 3 major offenses for DUI. So a lot of persons do this, and they go to the avenue, they park up their vehicle, they have a Navara, a Hilux, and about 4 of them sit on the tray, and on top of the vehicle it's full of alcohol,
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
and everybody drinking. So somebody must be in charge of that vehicle on the road.
Correct.
And this law, the Breathalyzer Act, caters for that person to be
Yes,
dealt
that's
with.
implemented
So
immediately.
you lock up yourself without even moving. Because we're thinking again, and it has to do with culture. If you understand our culture, if a person understands their culture, they could fight that culture according to Lloyd Best. It will be subsumed by the culture. We come from a society where we have a drinking culture. A person born, rum. He die, rum. Marry, divorce,
You get shoot, rum.
everything. So it's something now that we have to be aware of our culture and push back against that, so that you don't find yourself wanting. Because there are persons who never were arrested in their lives, and their first matter before the court was for DUI. So for example, there's this education campaign that will soon start with school safety. And that would be, it was recently spoken about in the newspaper by the Minister of Works,
Yes,
by Minister of Transport, where they're going to link with the Ministry of Education to improve road safety in terms of driving, in terms of explaining this road safety to youths. Because what you have happening is that you have young people, they're already addicted to marijuana in cookies,
Thank you.
popcorn,
Yeah.
some chips that they're frying now,
Toxic environment too.
right? And the thing about it is, you have people going off the tracks because the body now tasting these things for the first time, and that's the end of your child. That's the end of the future you were creating for your child. For example, persons who the police stop them, they're intoxicated, and you're going to take up a scholarship 2 weeks from now at MIT.
Wow.
How do you do that with a
Yeah,
conviction?
they're looking good.
So, for example, you might have a brother, he's in the US Virgin Islands. He call you, say, hey, what's going on with your son? Well, he's in sixth form. You say, here, what? there's a job opportunity coming for him. He gets arrested for DUI. His whole trajectory is changed because now how are you going to go to that, pick up that job with a DUI conviction? And this now could derail someone's life. So what we try to encourage parents to do is talk to your children, because alcohol abuse is prevalent.
Right.
And it's prevalent to the point that children are going into schools with alcohol. So while our society is not a perfect society, what would help the society is education, public education, enforcement, because as Mr. Sharbodie was talking during the break, he was asking about, at some point you have to draw the line. So there's two things recently that took place. The
Yes,
Right.
We have to wrap shortly. Sorry about that. That's okay.
No, go ahead. That's program.
That's
okay, so
summarize.
highway vending.
Yeah.
Yes.
Recently, the traffic branch would have made an intervention in the east where we had persons vending on the highway. And it was on social media where an old man was beaten with his crutches.
Yes.
So highway vending, right? Under the Highways Act, persons aren't to be vending on the highway.
Right.
Because it presents a risk for you, the driver. This person just run out with a bag of putigal or whatever in his hand. What happens to you? Bam. You knock them down.
That's the name why you alone tells you what's
It
going on.
tells you. So at some point, we must pull the rein on the horse and pull it back because it's gone too far. Another issue we have is persons crossing the highway under the crosswalk over.
That's over ridiculous.
Right? Somebody would have
ridiculous,
drifted into the path of a vehicle recently.
Yeah, ridiculous.
So these are the things we want the public to understand, because at the end of the day, just in front of traffic branch, we had somebody that was knocked down
Yes, I saw that.
recently. What happens? Gridlock traffic. Gridlock traffic. Right? So education, enforcement, but then again, it's about self-regulation.
Yes,
Don't cross.
policing
don't
yourself.
Policing yourself. Because while the traffic and highway patrol monitors the branch 24 hours a day, there's not enough police to put behind everybody to stand and monitor
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. On that note, we had to close.
Yes.
We're
Thank-
very educated.
appreciate the
Thank you.
information and
Officer,
the
but
reminders
listen to
as
me,
well.
Top of the line. Top
Yep.
of the line. I really want to applaud. Unfortunately, we couldn't take no calls, but I trust that I'll invite Mr. Bay again,
Yep.
where we have an open forum. People, policing yourself is important.
Key.
Safety is also key. Work in concert with the police, because at the end of the day, you have to arrive alive.
Correct. Yes,
Right.
that's right.
Love any house, and thank you very much for an absolutely excellent session. I trust that tomorrow we do something equally important.
Yes, thank you so much, gentlemen, and have yourselves a wonderful afternoon. Up next, Beyond Limits with Roland Stewart, right after the break.
Come check out Hunty's fast food catering services, where our food is delicious.